What up, everybody? What up? I was just, I was trying some things. Hoping I don't get in trouble for the music. But according to YouTube, it says that you can use this audio track in any of your videos, including videos that you monetize. No attribution is required. But just in case, that is taking chances by the soundlings. Soundings? Soundings. Just soundings. Okay, yeah. That's not how you do that because I just have my laptop open and I was in the YouTube studio thing and I just pressed play with my finger over here. And, that's not, I just now clicked on something that realized you could add these audio in the dashboard on the customization, but I don't know how to do it. So I just did that instead. What you think? I know it's kind of weak, but I'm getting there. Last night, oh, hey, first, welcome everybody. It's Dick. Dick's here to take his day, and I'm here to encourage you to do the same. Dictate your day. Today is Thursday, the 20th of February, and this morning, amazing. So good. Let me make sure I'm recording. Yeah. Because I woke up this morning 7-ish and I saw on my phone via the email that I had comments, and they're regular comments. I've had some inspiring ones, like ones from my past. They're my friends, telling me I'm a natural. Thank you so much for that. At the end of the video, though, I'm gonna attempt to find those comments and thank everyone for them, and then I will message you back. Because one of them was a question, and then one of them I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's a joke or is it I don't know. But yeah, those comments were like teardrops of nuclear power being dropped onto my fiery core. Brah! It was so good. So thank you for that. It is more worthy to me than you know. And it's just, I know. I'm simple like that, y'all. I'm simple. But man, thank you. Thank you again. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for subscribing. I have 23 subscribers now. I'm getting some more viewed time on my videos, and those are all steps forward to monetizing the channel, which is cool. Yeah, I hope to do that, but if I never do, so be it. I dig all of it. I dig the hard parts because I'm forcing myself to learn something new. And this is not my favorite thing to do. I don't mind talking on camera. That's the easiest part of this thing, but it's all the other stuff because it's so new to me, and I'm having to like open up old rusty neural pathways to let in electronic talk and things. And I don't know. I don't want to say I'm kind of a caveman on certain things, but I am, I guess. Whatever. But I'm getting there, y'all. We're doing it together. So please continue to come along for the ride, or just tune in when you can, or whatever. Comments are dope, though. I like it a lot. And it's, it's for me, I guess. And then for you too, because I'm gonna get in there, answer back. I got no problems doing that because I have such a small following right now. I can personally get in there and do all the things. But I thought I'd get into a story today, and then I have some questions about how the audience feels about me doing an intro and an outro. Is it necessary? Is it something you want? I just see the other ones doing it, and it looks kind of cool because I literally, there's YouTubers that I follow because of their information or their entertainment or whatever, and they have these intros that they say every time, and I watch them so often that I say it with them. So I don't know. We'll get to that if there's enough time in the video today. one story keeps creeping up in my head that I've told a couple times, uh, but it deals with a little bit of I'll use the word violence. I guess it was just the first time I was ever attacked by one of my guests, and he was one of our regulars. I mean, in there every day, and he had never acted like this before. Uh, he was real cool. He was cool before this happened, and then he was cool after this happened. He just, for whatever reason, attacked me. He was alcohol fueled. You know, he was definitely intoxicated, but he was an older gentleman. Uh, I don't know, probably in his 50s. Uh, and I was a young buck in his 20s. And, you know, I work out every day. Even back then, you know, I've been doing physical activity and all that kind of stuff. But that was like the height of me attempting to become a mixed martial artist. Like, I was training on the regular, jujitsu on the regular. I was, you know, a couple days a week, a striking coach would come by the Grappler's Edge where I was training. And I, I'm not going to say I was dangerous, but I was definitely a formidable opponent. Like, I don't know why this guy did this. Because I'm not trying to bust knuckles with strangers anyway. That's not, no, 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 no. Uh, but yeah, let me get into this. Okay, so where we're at in the storyline, and I'm probably going to have to dip back a little bit later because this story involves me bartending at the Great Northern. I know I took you back on the last story where I shit my pants, but that was in Texas, and that was at one of the first restaurant style atmospheres I was in, opposed to the banquet style stuff I did previously. But now this story takes place. We're in Colorado. I am now a bartender at the Great Northern, and I am the opening bartender for the evening shift. So, I would get there. I was probably scheduled at 4, but I would get there at 3. Anybody that knows me knows and this has been my modus operandi, my MO forever. And it's kind of how I deal with my anxiety because definitely have that. Oh yeah, with this much energy, I feel like anxiety just comes right along with it. It's a twofer, which I've found ways to deal with in certain methods. But where my work is concerned, I get there on average an hour early. Um, no kidding, at every single shift for decades. And the reason for that is I like to get in there, feel the energy, you know, go ahead and form my energy to the energy of the restaurant. There's less surprises that way, especially on the professional side. If I'm out of supplies, I can re-up those. If, the restaurant's missing something, I can prepare and work around it. Um, but it's just easier for me if the rush comes to me, no matter how crazy it gets. If it comes to me, it's cool. But let's say I'm 2 minutes before I need to clock in, and I was supposed to be there at 5, and now the bar is standing room only. They're 3 deep at the rail, and go. I can do that, and that is fun. But if you really want to be good at what you do, it's good to be prepared and come in and let that rush come to you, other than just boom, here we go. Yeah. So I was there about 3 o'clock. Shift probably started at 4, and during this time, there was a group of older gentlemen that would come in, and there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was probably about 6 of them. They wouldn't all show up, uh, but some of them would show up every single day, and they would come in during happy hour, um, which was like, I think it was 4 to 6 during the weeks. maybe it was just 4 to 5, maybe it was just an hour, because we were kind of a shishi upscale place. So we wanted you to pay because you could pay. And they were all old school investors, bankers, rich dudes, rich, old money, rich dudes. They were hilarious, had great stories. They were inappropriate. We got along real, real well. I probably should have used our interactions better and had them mentor me on stuff. But instead, we told dirty jokes and I got them drunk and fed them. Uh, but they all lived in the kind of affluent area around the tech center because there was a neighborhood called Cherry Creek right over there. And man, we're, crazy homes, crazy money, lots of options for these people. Good for them. Congratulations, man. I'm coming. I'm getting there, y'all. I'm going to do it. Late bloomer. But yeah, so I'll leave the names out because these dudes are powerful enough to find me and whatever. Dang, it's going to be hard without. Okay, no names. So the gentleman that attacked me kind of came in last to the group. Very cool guy, very charismatic, very likable. He was a talker, a salesman, wealthy dude. And the guys before he got there were talking about him and his woman going through issues. So I think ultimately he was going to experience a divorce because he did. And maybe this was the infancy. I don't know all the details about it, but I do know what that is like. And that shit is horrible. Horrible. I'm sure they were married a long time. It's the worst. It's the worst. So maybe he was already a heavy drinker. He was a professional. And these dudes drank Scotch. They drank Famous Grouse. And for rich dudes, okay, I get it. The reason they got money is because they don't waste money. But every single day drinking Famous Grouse, like, it's not horrible, but it's a scotch you don't reach up on the shelf for normally. It's a scotch that's down here in your Speedwell. It's in the same vein as like a Dewar's White Label. You know, it's not necessarily a well. It could be a call, but it is not a premium. They probably sell premium products. They probably sell some aged barrel casks, wine, port infused. Who knows? But yeah, that's what they drink. Occasionally, they would have a beer to lighten the load. I'm gonna call this guy T. T is safe, I think. So T comes in. He appears to have already had cocktails because sometimes these gentlemen would hit the bar across the street at the restaurant Yaya's, which was another shishi, very powerful menu, small plates, expensive, and I think their happy hour started earlier and then would end early, and then they come and hit us. Saving money. Those dudes were saving money, even though they had all the money. So Terry sits down, and we're bartending, we're shooting the shit around, and the rest of his friends, and I think they may have worked together at one of the big stock trading places or something. They're busting his balls about the woman thing, and you can tell he's smiling and laughing, but you can tell, at least I feel like I have a special ability to read people. And that just comes from time and experience and working with people. And sure, he's laughing and stuff, but I can see in his body language and in his eyes and everything that he's only laughing to hide the pain, kind of thing. I felt sorry for him. I really feel bad after because of what I did. He started it. I just finished it. Yeah. So as the happy hour ends, they would usually, this is so crazy, they would then switch to wine. Some would go white, some would go red, and then they would normally have maybe one or two items off of the happy hour app list, and then they would have some form of entree after happy hour was over. And then switch to wine. And then sometimes they would finish up with like a cognac. I know, hours and hours. I'm pretty sure these guys weren't driving. Hmm. Um, well, the gentleman in question that I'm about to tell you a story was not driving because they did live close enough. And a lot of times somebody's wife would come and pick them up, but I'm pretty sure on occasion they were operating motor vehicles intoxicated, which was, a horrible thing. And I have more stories about that I don't even know if I want to share because they are dark. But maybe. So the dudes, we've gone through our normal regiment. They're finishing up. They're taking off, but T stays. And then a whole new caliber of guests comes in. They're usually waiting for a table, so they'll sit in the cocktail area or they'll sit at the bar. The bar had like 25 seats at it, so it could get busy. Uh, Especially if everybody sits down at the same time and everybody wants something different. You know what I mean? But I can do it. It's one of my special powers, being an attention deficit kid. The more things you give me, the more normal I feel. And that's still going on in my life today at almost 50. Uh, you give me one or two projects, I will probably not get them done. But if you give me 15, we good to go. I'm getting off story. I'm sorry. See? So he's sitting there, and people are coming in to wait for their table or to get something at the bar or whatever. And they are kind of noticing this guy's not okay. Like, he's not necessarily even making sense, but he is. It's an intoxication thing. Well, I have decided, okay, bro, you've been in here 4 hours. I didn't say this. This is me thinking. You don't need any more to drink. Like, your body is still processing all that alcohol, and I know you think you do, and or whatever. But trying to rationalize any type of common sense with somebody that it's this level of hurt and this level of drunk, if you're not careful, they will now point that hurt drunk energy right at you just because you're in the way. Well, unfortunately, I am also, or fortunately, I'm tasked with keeping you safe, bro, because I want you to come back. I love your stories. I love it when you're happy. Hell, I wish I could be here. If you would be more open with me, maybe I can talk to you. I was a young buck, though, so I don't know how much I could help him. But, man, if it was me today, I could have held that guy. We could have cried about it. All is good. And tell him that people still love him and life isn't over. And look, man, I've been there, but I wasn't there yet. So I said, T, I'm gonna go. That's your last one, bro. Um, and I'm gonna get you a ride home. And he's like, I walked. You can give me another one. I drink more than this every day, or whatever. I don't remember all the details, but he was not happy. So I was like, okay. And I just walked away, started doing other stuff, either making drinks for the service well. Um, Actually, my other bartender was there, and I can't wait to get into the stories of him because his name was also Rich. They called us Double Dicks behind the bar. And I think that nickname from those old dudes because they definitely called me Dick. Uh, so Rich was probably doing the service well, and I was probably running the bar guest, on the actual seating area of the bar. But I was ignoring him now with his empty drink. And I would literally, the beer taps were kind of like right in front of the guests. We had two big beer tap islands right up against the bar. So if you needed to pour beer, your guest is sitting right here. And so if it's somebody you're avoiding, you have to act like you can't hear him over the music, or you're in mid conversation with someone. Oh, wait, I'll be right back. And I was doing all the techniques to not fill up his drink. I'd called down to the office and let him know, hey, T is not doing good. I'm going to get him a ride. And we had these little business cards up there. This was before Uber or any of those things for taxis. And they'd cut us a deal if we paid for it, because we definitely want to take care of these guests because they're spending thousands of dollars a week. So no big deal. We'll get you. He lived around the corner. I think he lived in one of the high-rise apartments, actually. I don't even think he had a house, which is sometimes a smarter idea. Uh, But now he's standing up and, like holding on to his chair. And I can feel his eyes laser beaming into me. And I can feel the energy coming from him. And now all the things that he has been dwelling on and everything, he is ready to now put that on me. He has chosen me as the enemy, and I can feel it. It's on. So I accept the fate, and I go over, and I had already called down to my manager, Victor, and we're getting him the taxi's on the way, and he's not happy about any of that, and he has a water glass in front of him that I have fixed him. For some reason, he had half of somebody's beer in front of him too. I think he just took some stranger's beer that left to go sit to like piss me off. Like, I can get another drink if I want. I don't know, but I remember it was like half of a Hefeweizen. I remember it being yellow and cloudy. It was like an unfiltered Hefe. It's probably a Polliner product. Very good product though, controlled by Germany's natural laws. Whatever, it's natural ingredients. If you're gonna drink a beer, drink one that's controlled by those. Or at least back in the day. I think they've changed those rules. So he's got that empty, like, lowball scotch glass in his hand. And the water glass is there. And I can't remember exactly how the exchange went down, but he spills the beer, or the water. He, backhands the water, and it doesn't fall all the way to the floor. It falls into the drain for those beer taps back there. And I was like, T, just calm down. And he's like, I told you I wanted another drink. And he steps back and takes that empty shot glass, or not shot glass, but scotch glass, low ball, high ball. It was a low ball. And yeets it right at my tie, because I was wearing a tie. You had to wear a tie. It didn't hurt. It didn't feel good, but it bounced off my chest, and then it didn't break because we had mats back behind the bar. And the only, like, I don't know, I felt like I'm trying to help you, guy, and people are watching this. Like, now all you can hear is the music, because all the voices, all the clanging of the plates and the glass and everything went boom, because he's yelling a cuss word, and you probably hear it in the dining room. So, and this guy, he probably wore a suit every day, but he was just in his dress shirt. I think he still had his tie on. Yeah, because I grabbed him. I literally, because the beer keg handles are here, he's kind of standing, behind them. But over here, I have free range to grab him. And the bar, I had to use all of my reach to get a hold of him. I don't know what I was going to do. It was like an involuntary, like my temper is involved. He physically attacked me. I would not have handled this way these days or in the last 10 years because I was fine. But my ego, because everyone's like, that kind of thing. And I can feel the color in my face change, anger and embarrassment and everything. Because I've been trying to protect him all night. I've been trying to keep him from, antagonizing guests that are within earshot of him. So I reached over and grabbed him by his shirt and tie and yanked his entire body. He probably weighed 150 to 180 pounds. I don't know. He's probably 5'10". I'm 6 foot. I was getting thick these days. I was over 200 pounds, working out every day. Thick, y'all. I was on that bulk, if you will. I yanked his entire body back behind the bar, and we had speed wells set up. And a speed well are these little racks that hold all of the bottles that, are well bottles. They're the generic stuff. And every single bottle has a pour spout in it. And those pour spouts are metal, and they're hooked, and it has a black rubber fitting. They're not all like this, but the original, all that kind of stuff. Some of them have ball bearings that measure stuff. Some are electronic that measure how much you're pouring stuff. But these are the classic old school metal rubber. And so when I yanked his body back there, he his whole, because he's drunk, he's, malleable. I rip him over all those bottles. Like bottles get pulled out, and some of the pour spouts get hooked on his shirt, and rip his shirt and scratch his chestals areas, even his belly, because he had like little blood scratch marks that were showing through his shirt after the fact. I yank him back there, and then I take a good couple steps back, and I'm like, T, you want to throw another glass? I said his name. Uh, or I don't remember the exact words. It was something cool, though. I know it was cool. Oh, it was cool. But I don't remember because I was in this rage thing. And so my buddy Rich gets back there because these were his regulars before they were my regulars. Like I inherited this bar position and all these regulars, but he knew what I was dealing with, and he was actually avoiding the situation all night because he knew it. He didn't want to. He didn't want to deal with the drunk, super rich dudes. You can't tell him nothing. You know what I mean? Whatever. So T, I'm trying so hard not to say his name. T is laying back there in a heap of mess, trying to find his way up. There is bottles on the ground. They're spilling liquor. Yeah. So he stands up, hand on the shelf, the wall with all the cool display premiums and top shelf stuff. He's trying to find his way to get up because, I'm sure the whole room is spinning. Like I didn't hit him or anything, but I'm sure that was jarring to his balance and everything. He gets up, he assesses the damage, he kind of looks down and sees he tries to like straighten everything up. It's a wreck. Doesn't look at me. Rich kind of puts his hands on me and directs Terry out from behind the bar because you're not supposed to be back there. I brought him back there. My bad. And I don't know what I was going to do. I didn't want him getting away from me and throwing something else at me or anyone else. Because I felt like if anybody would have stepped in, then he would have attacked. Maybe I'm just justifying it, but I would not have done this these days. I have way better control over my dangerous side, if you will. And I think that's important. But yeah, so he does this walk of shame, head down, goes out from behind the bar, goes right to where he was sitting and standing, kind of looks at us, literally puts his credit card down on the bar. And I said something like, "Hey man, your taxi's on the way." He kept his head down. He didn't look at me. He didn't seem to be like shaking or breathing heavy or anything. I think I yanked him back to reality. I don't know. But before I could even take the credit card and scan it, he turned around and walked out the door. The sun, Colorado's weird because depending on where you're at, like once the sun goes down behind the mountains, boom, it's dark, and then it gets cold depending on what time of year it is and stuff because the sun's no longer charging up with warmth on the surface of the planet. So you can kind of, as he walks out, I can see the dim orange light of the sun disappearing behind. And Rich and I think Victor, the manager, and maybe the hostess kind of go after him for one, to make sure he's okay, for two, to make sure he doesn't get ran over in traffic, because like 3 months from now, he loses his balance on the curb out there coming to our restaurant and gets hit by a car. He lived, he's fine, but he got jacked up, this poor dude. Man, I hope he's still alive. He's probably not. He'd probably be 90 or something, but no, he wouldn't be that old. Man, I hope he's still alive and I hope he's doing good. I hope he's sober. I hope he found love and stuff again. But anyway, he comes back the very next day and apologizes. And of course, we charged his credit card. And normally, if you leave your credit card, we charged, I think back then it was just 15%. Now it would probably be 20. And I've heard some places even do more if you leave your credit card. Especially if you get like a $300 tab and you leave your credit card there, they're going to close that credit card out and charge you a percentage. That's what you get, I guess. But I don't know how I really feel about that. I guess each case scenario. But yeah, he's like, did you charge my credit card? He wouldn't talk to anybody else but me. He apologized. He had me come around to the other side of the bar, shake his hand. He gave me one of them kind of long distance, no touch hugs. And he just explained to me, I'm going through some stuff, man. I shouldn't have been here that long. I shouldn't have drank that long, and whatever. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm sorry, whatever. I can't remember exactly what words were exchanged, but we were good. But he was like, I need you to take that 20% off. And I was like, man, that credit card batch has already gone through. And so I can't remember how we handled this, but I think we had to deal with the credit card company on 7-Level, and he wanted me to remove that tip charge so he could give me a $500 cash tip. And he did. He handed me $500 bills, and before he ordered anything, because I was like, he's just going to sit down and do it all over again, because that's what he would do. But he didn't. He waited until Victor could figure out, hey, we'll contact the credit card company, because he was like, I want to give Dick, I owe him this, and whatever. He didn't sound like that, but we got that all squared away. He gave me $500, and that day he drank water. I remember he drank water up until almost he left, and then he had like half a glass of wine. He ate food, apologized several times during the shift. The old guys showed up that normally sit there because they had already left. They didn't know what had happened. And then we all started telling the story. So it was great entertainment for the rest of the night. And a couple of the old guys, because they were kind of bigger, older, from a different era kind of men, they were like, I'd like to see you yank me back behind there, young buck, or whatever, that kind of stuff. I don't know why I made them sound redneck, but whatever. Yeah, so there's that story. I don't know what I'm going to title this video. That is such a hard part. Holy cannoli, we are at 32 minutes. All right, y'all, I'm going to get on out of here. Oh, yeah, I wanted to thank the people who commented. Dang. I got to get in my computer. Hold on. Think happy thoughts. I've been trying to change the settings on my computer to stop timing out like that. That's how bad I am at this. It just keeps timing out. I don't know. Man, that another story of my bartending career. It has 82 views, y'all. That's dope-ish. Thank you so much. Maybe if I click on this. Oh, no. Dang, you guys see how I'm suffering? I'm exposed. I don't care. But yeah, you're right. Let me go to view my channel. Customize my channel. And I think I'm almost there. Sorry, everybody. Schnickel Fritz. I don't know. Dashboard. Crap. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm getting there. Okay. First, I need to thank, I don't want to use his real name. His YouTube thing is GunmanXXX1, I think. Thank you, bro. You know who you are. You have helped me so many ways in life. Also, just being there as a friend. Thank you. And then I'm going to go ahead and say your name because it's on your YouTube thing. I'll just say Mr. Petty and Mrs. Petty and your children and everything. Thank you so very much. You know what you have done for me. It's amazing. These people even made me glasses with my name and stuff on it, man. They've supported me the whole way. They've encouraged me to do this. I'm doing it. Thank you. They're following me. And then somebody's asking me, hey, dude, you look amazing. These are great for my ego and stuff. How long you been working out? And have taken any gear, no hate? Maybe. No, yeah. I'm almost 50. I am on TRT. I've been doing it since October 21st, 2022. So like 3 years I've been on TRT. I'm gonna get there. All that's gonna be yes, but it's gonna shock you when you find out how much I take. It's not. It's so small, and I do it through a urologist. Okay, moving on, and then I feel like I know who this is because I remember this. I'm so sorry if I don't. It's at Battle Gnome 112. It just says double check his hard drive. I don't know what that means. But if it's funny, I don't know. But thank you just for putting out. Man, if this comment, let me like these. If these comments said, let me heart these. It said, you suck, bro. You're balding and your nose is crooked and you got weird wrinkles on your face. I'm gonna heart and like those too. I don't care, man. Yo, we all go through some things. And if you're on the hate side of your life right now, you may not be later. I'm still here for you, okay? Whatever. I do like positive stuff, though. Definitely like those better. But I can deal with the hate, too, man. So I don't know what that is, but thank you. Yeah. Yeah, this is meaning way more to me than I thought it would. I feel a little childish about it because I'm getting so excited about the stuff. But let me get out of here, everybody. I'm gonna get into this tomorrow. This is already too long about the intro. I wrote some stuff down. I wanted to get some feedback about it. We'll get there. Yeah. Day takers, you know what I'm gonna say. Take your day. Dick is gonna do the same. I'm gonna dictate this day. If it gets crazy, I'm going to make it positive. Let's do this together. Get in there. I love you guys. Peace and chicken grease. That's an old school restaurant goodbye. See you tomorrow.